You know, years ago, there was some group, I forget their name, that used to give an award to the dumbest senator every year. This poor guy from, I think it was Virginia. I could be dead wrong. He used to win it every year. I know his name, but I don't want to say it because I'm sure he's passed and his family deserve better than that. But that said, I think I'm going to start that practice right here and right now. But I'll change it a little bit. The dumbest Republican senator. So I want to give out the trophy to the dumbest Republican senator. His name is Roger Marshall from the state of Kansas. 99.9% of you, especially if you're not from Kansas, have never heard of the man. But he's obviously a very dumb man. And I want to play this for you. This was today, right, Mr. Producer? At a Senate hearing on anti-Semitism. Here's Roger Marshall questioning Dr. Charles Small, founding director and president of the Institute for the Study of Global Anti-Semitism and Policy. I don't know him, I've never heard of him, but nonetheless, there he is. So let's listen. Listen in, and I will explain why I have given him the 2025 dumbest Republican in the United States Senate award. Cut 4, go.
Dr. Small, what was Qatar's role in the hostage release of Americans?
It's a good question. I'm not an expert at that level, but I know that the Qataris certainly were funding Hamas. They have very good relations.
Okay, that's not my question.
Okay, let's stop right there. Notice how he cuts him off like a liberal. I don't know, Senator, what was the Qataris' role in October 7th and the taking of the hostages? You really are a sleazeball. This guy, Roger Marshall. Go ahead.
Responsible for the freeing of American hostages and many others. Dr. Small, what was Qatar's role in the evacuation of Afghanistan, and especially how did it impact America?
The Qatari regime has good relations with the Taliban, with the Iranian Revolutionary Regime. And
it's interesting,
Hamas.
Just the prejudice I hear coming out of your mouth.
Okay, so stop, ladies and gentlemen. Qatar's funding terrorism all over the world. They've been funding, and it's not just me. The money's been traced by all kinds of experts and so forth who actually believe in this country, our country. They've been funding Hamas. They are allied with Iran and the Taliban. He doesn't want you to know that, so he's cutting this guy off and he's mistreating him. They work very, very closely with these terrorist regimes. They're pouring God knows how much money into our country. So this guy is now a propagandist. Let's be clear, Kansas. Roger Marshall is a propagandist for Qatar. And look, a-hole, big-time Mr. Senator, who's cutting off your witness and bullying him. You want to come on this show? Drag your ass onto this show. I'm more than happy to talk to you. I'm sick of these arrogant you-know-whats. Sitting there like a liberal, cutting off this gentleman. You're not answering my question. He's not giving you the answer you want, you schmuck. That's your problem. Go ahead.
Qatar was so important. Of the 120,000 people evacuated from Afghanistan in our moment of need, Qatar stood beside us. And of the 120,000 removed,
hey, ladies and gentlemen, this guy is bad dude. In our moment of need, Qatar coordinated with, supported the Taliban. Then we're removing people. Qatar agrees that we can land our planes in Qatar on a base that we built and we lease, the biggest military base in the Middle East. Qatar funds Hamas, which takes our people hostage, that is Americans, as well as Israelis. And then Qatar steps into the void and acts as a negotiator, a moderator to help us. And then when it falls through, they blame the Israelis and talk nice about Hamas. They're working with Iran. Al Jazeera is a propaganda newspaper owned by the inbreds who run Qatar. And in fact, there are other Arab countries, the UAE, Bahrain, Saudi Arabia, that want nothing to do with Qatar and Al Jazeera. So here you have a guy who's out front thanking the Qataris. And this is what Qatar does. And they obviously have one of their boys in the United States Senate here, Roger Marshall of Kansas, who doesn't want to hear what this gentleman is trying to say. Well, if that's the way it is, Roger Marshall, then why don't you just run back and forth between inquisitor and witness? You can take both sides of the same argument. Heads I win, tails you lose, right? What kind of a joke are you? Go ahead.
Came through Qatar. Without Qatar, we would have had thousands more deaths as well. So I don't know why you won't answer that question. I want to think about just a little bit more objective here. I'm going to say this century, in the past decade or so.
No, he sounds dumb to me. Sounds like a dumb guy. I want to sound a little more objective here. What the hell is he even talking about? Go ahead.
$5 billion to the educational institutions of America. And a vast majority of that, probably 80%, is setting up universities in Qatar, whether it's Texas A&M and
Hey, Marshall, here's part of the problem, and this has come out of your own body and other places. We don't know exactly what Qatar's spending. It's more than $5 billion. We do know that. I've done programs on this and have pulled the records ourselves as well as others have. And what are they doing? What are they doing with their money? They're spreading anti-Semitism, anti-Americanism. And here we have a senator from Kansas, of all places, who's a special pleader for Qatar. Go ahead.
And medicine, a vast amount of that money is research-oriented as well. Qatar's been a great ally to America, so I don't know why you're attacking them. And
hey, pal, we're telling you why we're attacking them, you schmuck. You sound like a buffoon. A complete jerk. Attacking them, it's called exposing them. Tell us, Senator, why were 5 of the billionaires who run Hamas given protection by Qatar? Can you answer that? Why was Hamas given over $1.8 million over the year? Over the years? By far, Qatar was the biggest provider of funds to Hamas. How do you explain that, Senator? How do you explain the money going into all these colleges and universities in our own country? I've laid this out, chapter and verse. How do you explain that? Oh, they're just funding medical research, America. Medical research? You know, like the Communist Chinese and the Confucius Institutes. They're just funding medical research. So this guy, who's like the Tokyo Rose of our time, this guy is telling you all the things Qatar, where you can find them on the positive side, has bought with their money. Well, on the other side, they're literally funding terrorism. Literally. And he's excusing them. A Republican. The dumbest Republican senator of 2025, maybe of all time. Go ahead.
Compare, so China's given over $3 billion, the Saudis $1.5 billion, UK $1 billion, Germany over $1 billion.
You comparing Qatar to the UK and Germany? Are you serious? So this is a propagandist. He's a demagogue. He's running interference for a country that funds terrorism and plays Americans and plays us. Go ahead.
Be attacking them as well. And I want you to,
why are we attacking them as well? We are. Communist China? What are you talking about, moron? But why would we attack Great Britain and Germany? Does this guy sit on like the Foreign Relations Committee or something? Does he not know the difference between an ally and an enemy? Or at least an adversary? Good God, is he stupid. Go ahead.
Question. 2 universities heavily funded by Qatar.
Hey, pal, you got a witness there. He's got a lot of knowledge. I don't know the man, but I can tell he's intelligent. You ask him a couple of questions, and you shut him off. Go ahead.
And VCU, were there any large anti-Semitic riots or protests there?
So this is a very important issue, and I would say...
So were there any anti-Semitic riots?
Wow, you see what I mean, Rich? Won't let him talk. He's an embarrassment, a humiliation to himself in the United States Senate. He's the Rashida Tlaib of the Republican senators. Yes, he is. Tough guy. You want to come on, tough guy? Contact my producer, have your comms person do it. Come on, tough guy. Let's do it.